Hello, my name is Andre Da Silva and this is my AS Media Foundation portfolio evaluation. I chose a print brief because having done media at GCSE, I wanted the chance to develop my print skills before choosing a new medium at A2. As Holes and Holmes summarised in 1998, any media is created for a particular audience and will usually appeal most to this particular target audience. What this meant for me is that before beginning my main task, I needed to determine who my audience would be and what genre of magazine they would want to read. My primary audience research revealed that the most popular genre was hip-hop and that my audience demographic would be young black males aged 15 to 24 years and in social grades B to E. My secondary target audience would include white males. My secondary research taught me that hip-hop is a niche market publication as it is not intended for large mass audiences and that subsequently the medium language would need to represent the intended demographic to create the right impact. My primary research taught me that my magazine would have to fit certain needs of the audience in order to make them want to buy the magazine, as my audience said they wanted the magazine to be entertaining, informative, be a substitute for personal relationships, and be good for socialization. This needs to fit the categories outlined in 1973 by Bulmer and Katz' uses of gratification theory. This linked together my primary and secondary research as both confirmed my audience would want their customer needs met in the same way. I made sure I showed this to my target by my product and representing these needs through all my medium languages choice. I also used my secondary research into media stereotypes to help my creative ideas represent my target audience through portraying youths as trouble and fun, which links to Headbridge's theory in 1988, youths as criminals, who links to Hall's in 1904 theory, and by using Gandal's idea of rags to riches stories to represent the social class of audience. I made sure I represented a range of ethnicities through my media language. For my media products, I've tried to keep them pretty similar to the real media products I looked at, The Source and XXL. This is because, as Bentley said in 1997, the creative process is the rearranging of the old to create the new. Because of all products need to follow certain genre conventions to make them recognizable with the audience who is naturally drawn to certain media language that fits specific genres. Behind me now on the screen is my front cover. You can see that I have followed hip-hop genre conventions in a number of ways, but have still made my product look creative, fresh and new to attract customers away from existing magazines to mine. One convention I followed that I saw on XXL was using a red, white and black colour palette. I've used this across my cover, contents and double page spreads to create a recognisable brand image. These colours work for the genre and target audience as they connote Oscar B's 1998 idea of youth as fun and trouble. Because black and white are what Barthes referred to as binary opposites, that therefore connotes the two opposites of youth representation different people in my target audience would be able to identify with. Red, black and white also work for young males as they connote violence, rebellion, crime, which all fits with Hall's 1904 youth theory. I've also made sure my layout decisions follow conventions of magazines like XXL and The Source, as I have kept them masculine, confident and ordered to match the needs of males aged 15 to 24. On my cover I have used just one main image filling 2/3 of the space, a bold masthead filling 1/8 of the page, positioned slightly behind the main image, and have positioned my text in a ordered column down to the right hand side of the cover. However, I've used a range of exciting modern masculine fonts in different sizes to connote my magazine, which fits Bloomer's and Katz' 1973 theory, as my target audience will want to see my magazine deliver entertaining stories, and these typography choices connote this. I have also worked to create the right font for my masthead and settle on a design where I cut triangles out of the top corners of each letter to create a rebellious, edgy, destructive feel that my male audience would be attracted to. I think the typography style is modern and masculine and fits Hall's 1904 theory, as it connotes rebellious behaviour that fits the hip-hop genre, as it is similar to the style that hip-hop, that the Source and XXL use, but creative and original enough to stand out from these competitors. I called my magazine Hype, as this is a modern term associated with modern society and the hype surrounding new products, which works for my magazine as it is about the hype surrounding new music. My masthead appears on each page to sell through brand recognition and repetition. On my contents page, I've used an extreme close-up image filling the whole page, but half covered by a red text box on 70% of opacity that contains my page numbers and listed stories. This creatively follows conventions, as most of the contents pages I've researched for the hip-hop genre use the main image and a list of contents, but none of I saw experimented with overlays like I have done. I am really pleased with the effect, as it creates a moody, hard tone that fits with Hall's 1904 theory that youths are drawn to dark, depressing images. Another way I broke conventions is the fact that I have broken the word contents into three. I've done this because it is different and rebellious, but isn't so different that it will stop my magazine appealing to my audience as recognizable as a contents page. Conventions I did follow include keeping all the content in one column to make it look professional and neat, to make it easy to read. This represents the audience who wants to be able to quickly see if the content will represent their needs. Another common convention is that I have the masthead of the page in the bottom right corner featuring the date, issue number and the website of the page. The colour of the masthead I have kept the same as on the front covers, as I wanted my magazine to have some continuity through it. On my double page spread, I have followed traditional hip-hop genre layout conventions by having a close-up main image on the left covering half of the spread and a massive title above the subheading above my text on the right. The main title, I've put the initials of the artist covering the top third of the page so that it stands out. Underneath that, I've put the title of what my text is about, which is How Hip Hop Changed My Life. This is because it isn't as important, however it is still important for the audience to know what the text is about. The size of this font is much smaller than the initials of the artist. For the article, I have made sure that it is much smaller compared to the rest of the text. I've done this because this is what other hip-hop magazines do to their double-page spreads. I also made the first letter of the article larger to follow conventions and create visual interest and impact. I've also included page numbers, and this is a professional convention of all magazines that lets the audience find the article they want after looking at the contents page. Overall, I am proud of my layouts, as I think they follow conventions but also offer new creative ideas that will make my product stand out and represent the needs of my target audience. Front cover image conventions can vary slightly issue to issue, magazine to magazine. I noticed this during my planning and research, as on the Source, for example, some issues they would have a close-up of a main star vehicle with no other images, while other editions they may use a medium shot of one or more stars, and on occasions also used one or two minor images as well. One common convention that never changed for any of the images on the cover, contents and double page spread was mise en scène. Choices of, as all the star vehicles were male stars in clothes appropriate to the genre that fitted criminal stereotypes that followed Stanley Hall's 1904 and Stuart Hall's 1981 theories of youth and black people being a rebellious and social problem. For my front cover, I've kept it simple by just having one main image, a medium close-up of a famous artist from the genre. I have followed genre conventions, as he is a young black male in clothes that fit the genre. The age, genre and style of my star vehicle connote the genre of the magazine and represent the target audience who want to identify with stars who are the same age and genre as them. For my contents page, I challenged two conventions in terms of images. Most of the contents pages I've researched used more than one image. I broke this convention by only having one image, an extreme close-up of the artist's face. I've done this as I think the facial expressions that my artist is making make him look angry and mysterious, but also because it makes the magazine look different to other hip hop magazines, which will make my magazine stand out as new and original. The other convention I broke was using a white artist for this image. This will appeal to my audience, as some people in the demographic will want to identify with white artists, as this is more inclusive. On my double page spread, I've continued to show my magazine will be diverse, as I have used a close-up of another white hip-hop artist. He fits genre conventions as his expression is aggressive, serious and rebellious. He is the right age to represent the target audience, as he is wearing a dark top and cap that fit the genre.